You know that perfect life you see all over social media? The gorgeous house, the brand new car, all the latest gadgets. Well, what if it's all just an illusion? There's a play written almost 100 years ago called The Never Never Nest that called this whole thing out. And honestly, its message feels more important today than ever. So let's dive into the sharp, funny, and surprisingly timely story.
So here we meet Jack and Jill. They are a young couple, and they are just beaming with pride over their new home. They're showing it all off to their visitor, Aunt Jane, and everything seems absolutely perfect. And that's when Jill asks this simple little question, a question that's about to unravel their entire world.
I mean, you can't really blame them for being so proud. At first glance, it's literally like something straight off a Pinterest board. It's charming, it's cozy, it's got all the modern comforts you could want. It is the very definition of a perfect home.
And boy, have they filled it with stuff. We're talking a car, a piano, a fancy radiogram for music, a refrigerator, all this stylish furniture. For a young couple who are just starting out, having this much, it feels a little suspicious, right? It seems like they have it all.
So, naturally, Aunt Jane is impressed. "It's wonderful," she says. "But you can just feel this little bit of doubt creeping in, you know? It's all just a little too perfect." So perfect, in fact, that she's literally thinking, wait a minute, did I accidentally add an extra 0 to their wedding gift?
And right there, that's the turning point. Her polite compliments start turning into questions. She's basically launching a quiet little investigation, trying to figure out the real price of all this perfection.
Okay, so she goes for the big one first, the house itself. She asks how they could possibly afford the rent, and Jack, he just grins and says, "Oh, we don't pay rent." Why? Because, he says, the house is theirs.
Oh, and Jack has this whole sales pitch ready to go. He's like, why be Mr. Tenant when you can be Mr. Owner? His big idea is you just throw down a tiny deposit, make a couple payments, and boom, you own the house. Sounds pretty sweet, right? A little too sweet, maybe?
Yeah, Aunt Jane is not buying it. Not for a second. The numbers just aren't making any sense to her. So she keeps digging and turns her attention to that shiny new car sitting outside. Jill jumps right in. Of course it's ours. But Aunt Jane, she's persistent. She hits them with this simple, killer follow-up question. And that's it. The whole perfect picture just cracks. Jack has to come clean. Sort of. Well, he says, not exactly all of it. And boom, with that one little admission, the whole secret comes tumbling out. It's what the play calls the installment illusion. It's kind of like their magic trick for getting everything they want instantly. Now, this system they're using is going to sound super familiar. It's called a hire purchase, or an installment plan. Basically, you pay a little bit upfront, take the item home right away, and then you just chip away at the rest with these small, easy payments. It is literally the 1930s version of buy now, pay later. So, what do they actually own of this car? Well, when Aunt Jane pushes them, Jill does the math and figures out they own, let's see, the steering wheel, one tire, and maybe 2 of the cylinders. Yeah, the rest still belongs to the lender. And get this, it's not just the car, it is everything. The piano, the fancy radiogram, even the furniture. It gets so ridiculous that at one point Aunt Jane points to a chair leg and says, "So I guess you own this leg." And Jill has to correct her, "Well, no, actually it's that one."
I mean, it's already completely absurd, but believe it or not, it's about to get even crazier. Aunt Jane decides to get down to the brass tacks, the actual numbers, and what she finds out is, well, it's not just bad math, it's impossible math.
All right, first things first, income. She asks Jack what he makes. He tells her he's got a pretty good job, pulls in £6 a week. Okay, £6, remember that.
Okay, so you got that £6 number? Well, Aunt Jane does some quick addition on all their weekly payments. The total? Over £7. They're spending more than £1 more than he even makes. Every single week. How is that even possible?
Right? That's what Aunt Jane is thinking. She is totally stumped. But Jack, oh Jack, he's always got an answer. His simple solution? When you're a little short, you just get a loan. And how do you pay back that loan? Come on, you know the answer. In installments. It is the perfect, never-ending debt machine.
So, at this point, Aunt Jane is just horrified. She has seen enough. As she's heading out the door, she decides to give them one last thing, a parting gift that's really more like a lesson. She hands them a check for £10, but there's a catch. She tells them, use this to pay off one of your bills, completely, so you can finally say that one thing, just one thing, is truly yours. It's like her final desperate attempt to snap them out of it.
So Jack comes back inside after saying goodbye to his aunt, and he's all excited about this 10-pound windfall. He's already thinking about what to do with it, maybe make a big payment on the car. But Jill stops him. The money, it's already gone. She already sent the check off. The question is, to who?
Jack is totally confused. Dr. Martin? Why on earth would you send it to the doctor? And that's when Jill, holding their new baby, looks at him and delivers the punchline of the entire play, and it is an absolute jaw-dropper.
And that's where it ends. It's shocking, right? It's this incredibly dark but funny takedown of living beyond your means. And the crazy part is, this was written almost 100 years ago, but it feels like it could be about today. It really makes you think, what's the real difference between their old-school installment plan and all our modern credit cards and those buy now, pay later apps? Forget the car and the furniture for a second. What are the things we can't see that we're still trying to buy one little payment at a time?